feel the Lord in this place. Yeah. I feel the Lord in this place. The glory of the Lord is coming. The glory, the glory, the glory, the glory, the glory of the Lord. The glory of the Lord. Fill this house. The glory of the Lord. Fill this house. Fill this house. Fill this house. Fill this house. Fill this house.
Touch your neighbor. His house. His glory. Now you don't you get crazy on me and start thinking it's about you. Please don't get crazy on me. Don't you get crazy up here because you singing a song. Don't you get crazy because you playing an organ. Don't you get crazy because you sitting in this seat. Don't you get crazy because you ushered people in and sat them down. Oh, I need to talk to you. Don't you get crazy because you read the announcements. Don't you get crazy because you prophesied. Don't you lose your mind because you got a cute little voice. His house, his glory. Now, when you go home with whoever lives with you, you could tell them it's my house. And as long as you're living in my house, you're going to do what I say. Few of us parents know what I'm talking about. Few who will be parents, you'll testify later. I pay the rent here. I pay the mortgage here. I bought the furniture. But you be sure to transition when you get to that door. And make sure you don't come in here talking about it's your house. Transition. Tell your neighbor, make the transition. When you get to the door, no. Make the transition when you get in the car. You lock your house. Make the transition. I'm not going to my house. I'm going to his house. It's his house. Pastor Annette is his house. Pastor Nathan, it's his house. Pastor Trayvon, it's his house. Now don't get crazy on me. Thinking, well, I'm the biggest giver. It's his house. I donated to such and such. Excuse me, it's his house. I picked out the color of the carpet. Hold up now. It's his house. I painted the walls. No. Back up now. It's his house. It's his glory. Now, until the revival can stand the absence of the person we're focusing on, it's not a revival. Now, if we've gotten so confused that we lay hands on anything and anybody because of the amount of people showing up, or how it's broadcast around the world, or how it streams on the internet, or how many desperate Americans who don't read their Bible, who go to a dead church, are looking for something. If we're basing revival on that, shut it down, go home. Let's be honest, the average Christian goes to a dead church. If you're listening to me by radio right now, probably listening because you go to a dead church. And you're scared to leave the dead church. Talk to me, somebody. Because you got a position in the dead church, or you've been in the dead church a long time. Everybody knows your name in the dead church, but you got to sneak and get a word at 6 a.m. because you know your pastor ain't got no word. Oops. I'm sorry. Americans are desperate to call anything a revival because they don't have the discipline to open up their Bible and say, Lord, give me a word that transforms my life. Lord, give me revelation knowledge. Lord, give me wisdom and power. Lord, give me Romans chapter 8, the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead, let it dwell in me. No, we want to find somebody that got an anointing. So-and-so got an anointing. I'm going down to their church. They got an anointing. Well, where you think they got it from? The Father, who is no respecter of persons, who will give liberally to anyone that asks. So why don't you stop running to somebody trying to get an anointing and ask God for your own? I'm getting myself in trouble. Now notice, Ezekiel is before the elders in his house. He's in his house. And the setup here is that the elders have come to the oracle of God. Not in church, they came to his house and said, speak to us. He's an oracle of God. Follow this. He doesn't need a church service to prophesy. Some prophets got to have a church service to prophesy. You know why, right? Because they can collect some money after they prophesy. You do it in your house, it's not as appropriate to pass the plate in your house. But in this building, after I prophesy, I can ask you for some money. He's an oracle of God. He's a mouthpiece, Mother Griffin. He speaks for God. And he doesn't need a temple. He doesn't need a sanctuary. He doesn't need some fluff and puff and pomp and come to my house. I'll prophesy in my house.